about to watch is probably some really dumb opinions by me, Ace, as we are going to go on a journey where I review every single major wrestling show that has to do with the biggest show of the year in WWE. That's right, this is Ace's Road to WrestleMania. I can only describe the Rumble in one word, and that is yeet. Welcome to the first edition of Ace's Road to WrestleMania. Yes, I will be covering pay-per-views like the Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber moving forward on the road to WrestleMania, and I will also be covering Raw and SmackDown. So that means, yes, I'm going to be here live reviewing the shows, talking about, what are my theories going into Mania as we get closer. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss. Welcome in. Shout out to some people in the chat right now. Johnny Von Hollywood, Rock Kip, Nicholas Alexander, welcome in. Welcome to the first edition of Ace's Road to WrestleMania. You're going to be seeing a lot of me on a show like this. Now, I'm going to crack open a Steve Austin Broken Skull American Lager to celebrate the win for some of our boys. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are not happy about this outcome, but we'll get there when we get there. So I think I'm going to go over the matches and stuff in order, but welcome everybody watching. Yeah, it's weird. Haven't done a stream like this in a while. This kind of takes me back. And before we start, to join Ace's Road to WrestleMania, you got to subscribe. If you want to join in on the convo, talk about WrestleMania with me, this is, a very fun season. We all get into it. Yeah, let your voice be heard, subscribe, and you could, I almost said Face the Ace, that's the other channel. You can come ace to face with me if you disagree. But, yeah, the Royal Rumble, I think overall this was a positive show, a good way to start. Cheers to the Royal Rumble. A good way to start the show and good way to start the road. Overall, I liked it. We have some interesting things that we'll get to, but yeah, the show kicked off with the Women's Royal Rumble, which I felt like was the least booked match on the card, if that makes sense. I do think the tag title should have opened the show, if you ask me. And it is nothing against, any of the wrestlers involved. It just felt like the least booked match, or the least hyped up match on the card. So I thought it had a good start, though. The first two entrants was Io Sky and Liv Morgan, two former world champions, two that maybe could have won. They're main event people in the women's division. So I thought that was a fine way to kick it off. Io Sky being kind of like the workhorse of this match, the kind of the Shawn Michaels, Seth Rollins type, made a lot of sense to me. And yeah, no, that was a good start. And then number 3 was Roxanne Perez, who can't really say this is an NXT call-up anymore. Roxanne, I think, is pretty much a main roster call-up. I guess I would say it is. As, yeah, Roxanne was number 3, and as we'll find out, she made it pretty far. Number 4 was the Women's Intercontinental Champion, Lyra Valkyrie, the Bird Lady, as some people would say. Lyra, another workhorse. This made a lot of sense at number 4. I forgot to say, I'm going to quickly go through each of them. Not spend, too much time on it, but I'm going to quickly go through each of them. But I thought that was fine, showcase that the Intercontinental title, like the men's version is the workhorse title, so to have her down there and last a while made a lot of sense to me. As we go to number 5 was Chelsea Green, the United States champion. Having the two new mid card titles back to back made a lot of sense. That they're brand new belts. You want to showcase them early on. You don't really want them to get lost in the shuffle, towards the end. I did agree with that decision of having them back to back. The more I think about it, and yeah, Chelsea Green. We're big fans of Chelsea Green here at Shockwave Sports. I'm a big fan. No problem with her coming in at number 5, and she had some pretty entertaining spots, if I do say so myself. I'm just gonna fix my first stream, people. So we're gonna feel like I was low. First stream, we're getting the hang of it. Yeah, right there. We'll get better. Hopefully by WrestleMania we'll get better. Um, number 6 was BFAB. This was fine. BFAB is starting to get more hype on SmackDown. It seems they're giving her more match time, more TV time. I was fine with that so early into the match. Next was the Ravens' favorite women's wrestler of all time, Ivy Nile, made her way out. And she actually had some cool spots. And we'll see. She had an interesting spot with somebody later on. Number 8 was Zoe Stark, the first entrant from the Pure Fusion Collective. Yeah, thought that was fine. Didn't really do much until the others came out. Number 9, Lash Legend from NXT, who has been kind of making rounds in the main roster as her and her partner, Miss Jackson, competed for the women's tag team titles back at, I want to say, Crown Jewel? Yeah, I believe it was Crown Jewel. They had a big Fatal 4-Way tag match. So, she's been seen on the roster. Really cool. Really cool in-ring stuff. Yeah, I was completely fine with that. Number 10 was Bianca Belair, Nikki Fox's favorite wrestler. Bianca Belair was coming in at number 10, pretty much the first big star in this match, somebody that could potentially win the match, I guess I should say. Because, I mean, like I said, Io Sky and Liv are big stars. But Bianca was like one that's like, oh, you never know. Because Bianca wins a lot, so she could have won it. So, cool stuff. She had some good spots. I see that the chat loves Bianca. Yeah, the chat loves Bianca. Chelsea Green as well. But yeah, I believe now that we're on number 10, yeah, after 9 entrants, finally someone was eliminated. So they had this cool scorecard throughout the show. It felt like I was kind of watching like ESPN, where it showed the eliminations, who threw who out. It would come up who was eliminated immediately. They really took the Rumble seriously, like it was this like big sporting event, and I really liked it. It was different, but I think they could add on to it and make it. I think it took up too much of the screen. So if they were going to change anything next year, make it a little smaller. Make it the size of the ESPN things that go on the bottom. I think that'd be a little better. Because it's not like I'm watching football. I don't want a big like scoreboard in front of my wrestling match. I'm supposed to focus on the match. Pro wrestling's not a stats based thing. As much as TNA and AEW have tried to make records important in the past. I think overall I like the concept, but it needs to be more pro wrestling than sports. When you blend those two, you need to be more on the pro wrestling side, because it kind of gets awkward if you just make it a strictly sport thing and like make it really aggressive. Number 11, we had Shayna Baszler, another member of the Pure Fusion Collective, and once again, they were kind of the big heels of the match and try to take control. They had alliances with Zoe Stark, of course, both Shayna and Sonya, as we'll see later in the match. Number 12 was Bayley, last year's winner. And Michael Cole, I noticed on commentary, really tried to sell that Bayley could win it again, comparing her to the likes of Cody Rhodes, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, people that have won it twice. I thought that was cool. For a match that could have used more hype, adding that Bailey story, they should have done it leading up to it, instead of, doing it in the last match. So overall, though, it was cool to see Bailey get some interesting props there from the commentary. And next was Sonya Deville, the final person of the Pure Fusion Collective. Like I said, they were kind of the big heels of the match, the people that the baby faces could beat up in the match to kill time. Nothing too crazy, but always cool to see Sonya Deville. Was one of my favorites back in the day in NXT. 14 was Maxine Dupree, and she got a hell of a pop when she came out. She had that spot with Ivy Nile, and I guess there's something there, guys. Is Maxine Dupree over? You know, we a lot of people saw the post on social media of her getting booed at house shows, and you know, it's tough for anybody to kind of skip NXT and go right to the main roster and train on the road. I have to imagine that has to be very difficult. So Maxine doing those good spots, getting in there, I think really showed that she's been working hard, and I have a lot of respect for Maxine. I think she gets too much hate. I think the internet could calm down. I hope Kevin is good. I think Kevin Owens is good. We'll talk about it a little later, but I think Kevin Owens he's chilling. I think they just sold this. They wanted to sell the spot to maybe hit towards a Cody heel turn, but we'll get there when we get there. But welcome in, Earl. Thank you for joining us. What'd you think of the Royal Rumble? As next was number 15, Naomi. So it didn't happen, but I really thought when Naomi came in, we were gonna see Jade Cargill, and maybe Jade Cargill was gonna dramatically point to Naomi like, you beat me up in the parking lot. But that just didn't happen. Naomi and Bianca just kind of did their thing in this match as a tag team. Nothing wrong with that. Naomi's always a great addition. Excuse me. Naomi's always a great addition to the Rumble. Number 16 from NXT, Jada Parker. Big fan of Jada Parker. I think she's killing it in NXT right now. Very talented competitor. Yeah, it was cool to see her. It was her first Rumble, and hopefully more to come, because I think Jada could be a future star. 17 was Piper Niven. I thought was just going to be somebody that was going to help Chelsea, and then both of them were going to get eliminated. But Piper Niven accidentally eliminated Chelsea Green, which I thought, oh, that's interesting. Are they planting the seeds for Piper Niven versus Chelsea Green? Is that potentially going to happen? So I'm very interested where that's going to go, because I like Niven. I think she's got a lot of good charisma. She's fun to watch in the ring. Yeah, I would not mind if that's a WrestleMania match, if that's what they're hinting for. As next we had Natalya at number 18, and yeah, nothing against Natalya, but she's only there for a stat, so they could say she's in every women's Royal Rumble. She has the Guinness World Record for most TV matches ever or something. It might be most matches ever in general. It just might be most pro wrestling matches ever. Yeah, very strange. Wish I had more to say. Number 19, Jordynne Grace from TNA, officially signed with WWE, I believe, right now. Some people thought she had a chance to even win this, but it's too soon. As much as TNA has grown the past year, WWE's audience is a lot bigger, and it's going to take some time for them to, understand Jordynne Grace. Yeah, she got a big pop tonight, but will she get a big pop in Corpus Christi, Texas? Will she get a big pop in somewhere, in Alabama? You have to let WWE fans get to know this person. Even we saw DIY, when they became a tag team, they didn't really start getting a reaction until a couple months into their run, when they came back to WWE and officially, moved on from that NXT, because as much as we like NXT, that fan base is also small, and you're introducing them to a brand new mainstream audience, especially now being on Netflix. If Jordynne Grace goes right to Raw, there is, 3 to 5 million people watching that. How many of them watch TNA? Not a lot. No disrespect to TNA, but not a lot. So how many of them are going to know Jordan Grace? So it's going to take time, just like with every new wrestler on the roster. As next we got Michin, who I'm surprised didn't feud with Chelsea or anything. I guess they're trying to maybe go away from the Chelsea feud. Maybe Michin's going to do something else. And yeah, aside from that, Michin was kind of just another person in the match. Unfortunately, nothing too memorable. But I did remember she lasted a while, so good for her. Alexa Bliss was number 21, and I loved Michael Cole on commentary when he goes, "I thought she wasn't coming back. The internet said so." You know, don't don't take everything you see on the internet for a fact, folks. And I don't know where those articles that said they had no plans for Alexa Bliss was, because they obviously had big plans for her. She lasted a lot in the Rumble. She was eliminated by Liv Morgan. I was thinking maybe this leads to Alexa Bliss joining the Wyatts, and it could be the Wyatts versus Judgment Day in a big faction and faction feud for WrestleMania. But then I remembered they did move the Wyatts to SmackDown, but it's WWE. They could just, move them back to Raw if they need to, or move the Judgment Day to SmackDown. Who knows? But yeah, it was cool to see Alexa Bliss back. She's kind of got a remix of her old theme, which was cool. I'm glad the old theme is back. It definitely got a big pop because of that. And yeah, that was definitely the first big surprise of the night, if you ask me. Number 22, Zelina Vega. She had some really cool spots in this match. Zelina Vega recently moved to SmackDown, leaving the LWO, so he wasn't here tonight, but you hear rumors of Malachi Black, aka Aleister Black in WWE, that his contract is up and he could potentially be going back to WWE, and him and Selena are married, I believe. So is this kind of a hint that they want Selena to maybe be Aleister's manager, or they have plans for Aleister going to SmackDown and they, didn't want to separate the couples, because Triple H has been pretty cool about that, because Vince McMahon used to purposely separate couples on the brands, which I always thought was a dick move. Number 23 was Candice LeRae, essentially there to help Nia Jax later in the match, as we would see later on. You know, not a problem with that. Number 24 was Stephanie Vikander. This was kind of a surprise to me. And somebody from NXT that definitely, well deserved. Got a big pop. I had no issues with her getting it. Yeah, Stephanie is, one of my favorites in the NXT women, one of my favorites in the very, very stacked NXT women's division right now. And, yeah, had no problem with her showing up. Number 25, shout out to Mr. John Von Hollywood. We'll figure this out for future streams, but if I had the capabilities of just calling in Johnny Von Hollywood for a second, I'm sure, and I'm sure he's in the chat, this man has been predicting the in-ring, what's up, Animus? This man has been predicting the in-ring return of Trish Stratus for so long. The one thing though, and correct me if I'm wrong, Johnny Von Hollywood, the Trish Stratus expert, did she even interact with Zoe Stark in this match? I think by the time Trish came out, Zoe Stark was already eliminated. But it was a cool pop. I really didn't see that coming at all. So that was cool. That was cool. I guess she's a babyface again too. So I don't know if she's hinting at a Mania match. Yes, thank you, Trish, for your contribution into the Shock Rock Rumble. Shock Rock Rumble. Yeah, go watch the replay of the Shock Rock Rumble last week. It was pretty good. But thank you, Trish. Here's to you. Next, we had Raquel Rodriguez, who was just there to help Liv Morgan. Not not bad though. Raquel definitely had some really cool moves in this match. Definitely showed her power. Yeah, there was no Zoe interaction. Yeah, I thought that was kind of messed up. What up, Raven? I was talking about your girl Ivy Nile earlier. But yes, Raquel did it. And then number 27, lucky number 27, which I still believe is the number that most people have won with. So lucky number 27, Charlotte Flair makes her return after the vignettes. It was very similar to how Cody Rhodes returned for WrestleMania 39's build up at the Rumble in 2023. And we'll get to that later. Number 28 was the NXT champion Julia making an appearance. I thought this was really cool. I was not expecting her. I thought we were kind of done with all the NXT cameos. I think they have a lot, planned for Julia. I think they have big things planned. Number 29 was Nia Jax. Did not surprise me for her to get a late number. I think they see Nia Jax as a true main event person ever since main eventing a pay-per-view at Elimination Chamber and then becoming the women's champion at SummerSlam. Nia Jax kind of being one of the top heels, and she gets a reaction. When she comes out, man, she gets those Dominic Mysterio boos. Nia Jax, I would not be surprised if she got a belt again in the future. Oh, you're right. That is not Raven. All I read was the TJ part. TJ Black, what up? Literally, the guy we're talking about, TJ Black, his name is TJ Baker. So, like, it's so similar to your name, actually. What are the odds we have another TJ in the chat? Shout out. Shout out to TJ Black. Apologies. It's, my bad. My bad. And then number 30 was the return of Total Divas legend Nikki Bella. Completely fine with it. It got a massive pop. Nikki Bella has a lot of mainstream attention. She was just on the reality show Traitors, which I guess is a big deal. I'm not really a game show person, but a lot of people watch that show. So it got, she's kind of a mainstream reality star now. And it all started with Total Divas. So Nikki Bella potentially back full time. Maybe she does a big Mania match. But, and this is why I am your predictions champion here on Shockwave Sports. Charlotte Flair was your winner, though. Charlotte Flair won the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble. And like I said, I could see this coming. It was kind of booked like Cody Rhodes. I really had no issue with it at all. I like Charlotte Flair. I think she looked great. You could tell, is in great shape as well. Yeah, no problem at all. Charlotte Flair was your winner for this. And, yeah. Chat, do you have anything to say about this? Do you have any hot takes, hot reactions to this before we move on to the next one? I'll talk to the chat more when we wrap up the stream after I go over all the matches. But I got that right. I am your predictions champion. It was very cool to see me get that right. But it's good to have Charlotte back. The women's division needs more main event stars. I completely had no problem with this outcome. But yeah. Big fan though of that. I know a lot of people are gonna hate. She's now won the Rumble twice, but once again, she's a huge star. I have no problem with that. Yeah. Up next was the match that I wish Bianca won. Well, I think Bianca is going to have an interesting story with Jade Cargill and Naomi. Maybe it leads to all of them having like a triple threat match at Mania, perhaps. I don't know. It could go a couple of different ways there. I was thinking maybe this would lead to a Bianca heel turn, but maybe that's not happening. because there'd be no reason to. And she's kind of the biggest baby face of the women's division still. She's in the Slim Jim commercial. She's in all of the like marketing for WWE. She's kind of the equivalent to Cody Rhodes when it comes to just the good guys in wrestling right now. So I don't know. We'll see. But up next we had the tag team title match, 2 out of 3 falls. I really enjoyed on commentary them bringing up a lot of historical things that DIY have been in 2 out of 3 falls matches, and the Motor City Machine Guns won the TNA tag titles in one of their reigns in a 2 out of 3 falls match. So I thought that was some really cool tidbits by Michael Cole. A lot of TNA talk on this show. This has to be the most they have ever brought up TNA wrestling. I know the partnership just happened. It's still insane to hear the letters TNA whenever I'm watching WWE. I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever get used to that. I'm sure for people who just started watching wrestling, like, you don't really see why it's weird, but when you grow up in the 2000s and 2010s, when you're like me who was a TNA fanboy, and for, the Vince McMahon regime of WWE to be so strict to not ever mention those letters, it's just crazy. I remember there was a Raw, I want to say in like 2011, where John Cena, I believe, was feuding with Batista, and Vince McMahon was a part of it. And John Cena said something like, maybe I'll go and have some total nonstop action. And that made mainstream news just because he said total nonstop action. So, yeah, it used to be such a big deal, and now like literally the TNA World Champion walked out later on. But this 2 out of 3 falls match, unfortunately, the crowd was kind of dead for this match. The women's rumble really took a lot of their energy out. I unfortunately saw a lot of people getting up and probably going to concessions and stuff during this match. If you had to pick a match, I guess, to get up, hey, unfortunately, you're going to choose the tag title match. Especially, especially it's a newer team. This was kind of a risk, putting them on a big PLE like this, part of the Big Four. I was happy for them. Johnny Gargano said this is like the most important match of his life. So when I did see people getting up and not really giving a damn, kind of made me sad. Kind of felt bad for the guys because they were trying to put on a really good match. DIY got the first fall, and then the second fall went to the Motor City Machine Guns. And then the finish, which for me, it kind of killed any momentum that it could have had. The Street Profits interfered in the match. I guess they kind of hinted at this when Pretty Deadly told Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa that they would not interfere or help them win the match. I didn't think that. I actually thought that meant the Motor City Machine Guns were going to go over. I didn't think this was going to turn into the Street Profits now turning heel again. We tried this with Bobby Lashley. I'm sorry, maybe I'm missing something. I don't see much stock in the Street Profits as a tag team anymore. Montez Ford is a future star. Why don't we get the gears going and Montez Ford becomes a single star? I don't literally literally a guy we were saying should be a single star from a very famous tag team won the Rumble tonight. So if you just do it, it might work just like that. Excuse me. So unfortunately, I don't see much stock. And even Angelo Dawkins. I like Angelo Dawkins. I think he'd be a great talent too on his own. I don't think his career would be over like some people think he would be. So Gargano and Ciampa got the third fall because of that interference, and they retained. And it ended with the Street Profits beating up both teams, really trying to showcase them as the top heel team on Friday Night SmackDown now. Hopefully, all I could say is hopefully it leads to good matches. That's all I could hope for is when I don't agree with the booking. But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on the tag team match at the moment. But we got to the WWE Championship ladder match, and I know there was already some discussion in the chat. Cody Rhodes took on Kevin Owens for both the WWE Undisputed Championship and the Winged Eagle Championship in a ladder match. I loved Kevin Owens' shirt walking out, the Canadian Dream, son of a systems technician or whatever it said on Kevin Owens' shirt. I loved all that. I thought Cody looked cool tonight. Different. It wasn't the long, trench coat thing. It was a short coat. It reminded me of his Ring of Honor days when he was a heel. I think they are either planting the seeds for a Cody turn, or they just want to slightly make him a little bit more edgy. And we've had now 2 years of good guy Cody, very you know very tongue in cheek, like babyface, like Hogan Hulkamania Cody, or Fruity Pebbles Cena, like that version of those characters where it's so strong babyface. And if the Kevin Owens feud through all this changes a character in Cody a little bit, maybe this whole rivalry was worth it. Because I've been very critical of this rivalry. If it just ended at Bash in Berlin, where they gave Kevin Owens a big pay-per-view match, I would have been completely fine with that. But as it stretches out, we have the Saturday Night Live match, where the best part of that match happened after the show went off the air. All the best stuff happened after the shows went off the air. That segment where Kevin Owens beats up Cody in the parking lot was cool, and we literally just see it from a fan's phone. Uh, it was an interesting feud all around, but there was some insane spots. We didn't get that Ring of Honor pile driver spot that I personally wanted, that I said in my predictions video. That's completely fine though. We didn't necessarily need that, because some of the spots here were insane. It ended with a insane Alabama slam into Kevin Owens, and a lot of people think he might be hurt. Yeah, I believe, just scrolling up in your chat, because I know you guys were talking about it earlier. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this rode off Kevin Owens for a while. Kevin Owens probably maybe wants some time off after really going ham with this feud and kind of carrying it some weeks. So maybe he kind of deserves a little time off before WrestleMania. Hopefully he gets a good match at Mania, though, after putting in all this work. I have a feeling he'll be in like the Elimination Chamber or something, and that would be his like return. And it just felt very heelish from Cody. Him lifting up the belts while Sammy is comforting Kevin Owens. He had that kind of bad guy vendetta to him. Could this be a change in Cody? I, would not be totally surprised. But I predicted Cody to win. I think it's the way to go. We're already in January. Might as well keep the belt on Cody, whatever his Mania plans are, because it's really still up in the air right now. It is post Royal Rumble, and I have no idea who Cody Rhodes is facing at WrestleMania. But all right, main event time. Oh, Nicholas Farrow, shout out, welcome, man. Yeah, an L end to the show or to the Cody match? Because I guess you could kind of have debate for either one. But we'll get into the main event. The men's Royal Rumble. And love the beginning. Number 1 and number 2 were Rey Mysterio and Penta. Like, they just did it. Like, Rey Mysterio came out, and literally in my head, I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if it'd be Penta, and then his music actually hit. Like, that was a treat. Loved it. They really gave them time, too. They kind of had a mini match in the beginning, and I had no problem with that. That was fun to see. And then number 3, you had Chad Gable, the guy that's feuding with every luchador in WWE right now. So this made a lot of sense. Yeah, you just had 3 really good workers in the ring at this point. Carmelo Hayes came in at number 4. Big fan of Carmelo. He had some cool spots in this match. Number 5, you had Santos Escobar, who came in, another high flyer. They had a lot of high flyers in the beginning, but that all stopped when the big man Otis from Alpha Academy came down and cleaned house. Um, and then number 7, we had Braun Breaker, who lasted a while in this match. Good for him. You know, they see big things in Braun Breaker, the Intercontinental Champion. Made a lot of sense. And then things got a little wacky at number 8. Akira Tozawa comes out. Carmelo was just eliminated. Carmelo hits Akira back in the head. Tozawa falls down. They take him to the back, and they're sitting in Gorilla. And Triple H is like, well, we need somebody to go out at number 8. Who we gonna? Speed. I know I have a locker room full of wrestlers. Literally, the Street Profits are literally standing probably right behind you. But Speed, I want you to go out there. You're in the Rumble. So Speed comes out. I Show Speed, the YouTuber, the streamer, however you know him, takes a nasty spear from Braun Breaker. And yes, Rick Steiner was in the crowd. Shout out to Rick Steiner. We love him. But yeah, a nasty spear to Speed. It was a lot of fun to see. A good comedy spot for the match. And Speed was eliminated, of course, after that spear. Number 9, we got Sheamus, who, did his Sheamus things, did the chess thing, and did all the Sheamus stuff. Yeah. Hope he wins the Intercontinental title soon. Number 10 was Jimmy Uso, which, of course, played into the Bloodline stuff, which we'll see later. Number 11 was Andrade, who I thought would do more in this match. Kind of crazy. A year ago, he came in as a surprise entrant in the Rumble, and man, they couldn't, give him a little U.S. title run or something. I don't really understand why the belt's on Shinsuke right now. I think both Andrade or Carmelo would have been better picks. So, yeah, I don't know. Rod Kip, I see you like Speed. And, Nicholas doesn't think the winner of the Rumble should have won. Well, we'll discuss that in just a second. I have some thoughts. Number 12 was Jacob Fatu, who, man, was definitely all of a sudden became, I guess you could say, the workhorse, because he was in there for a while, and he was eliminating folks. He looked awesome. They obviously have big plans for Jacob Fatu. At least Paul Heyman probably does. Yeah, I love Jacob Fatu in this match. I thought he was sick. Number 13, Ludwig Kaiser came out and had one of the shortest appearances in a Rumble. He probably lasted around like 5 seconds. Santino's record from 2009 will never be topped. His 1 second elimination is never going to be topped. We love Santino here. Shout out. And at number 16, this was so early into the match, Roman Reigns came out. I was shocked when I heard his music. I was like, all right, we're going to have Roman for a little bit. This just was not expecting it. It was really cool. And right after him was Drew McIntyre. And that's exactly what you do, because you're going to play in that Drew McIntyre is blaming everything on Roman Reigns. Drew McIntyre thinks the whole bloodline is ruining his life and all that. And as we see later on, Drew McIntyre wasn't even eliminated by a bloodline member. It feeds into his story that he's being over paranoid about the bloodline, and it's costing him wins. At least, that's how I see it. And then number 18 was Finn Balor, who did not do much in this match, surprisingly. I thought they'd give Finn Balor a little more stuff to do. All the Judgment Day members and all the people you would think that would feud with the Judgment Day seem very separated in this match. If I had to critique the booking at all, very weird when it comes to that stuff. I don't know if they have any plans for the Judgment Day or they know what to do. Number 19 was the United States Champion, Shinsuke Nakamura, who had a couple of cool spots in this match, did what he had to do. I still don't understand why he's the U.S. Champion, if I'm being honest, as much as I used to love Shinsuke, and still do, but, like, I don't know. And number 20 was Jey Uso, who A lot of people thought we weren't gonna talk all that much about tonight. We're just gonna save Jay. And number 21, the return of AJ Styles. I forget what his injury even was, but I feel like he came back early. Like, where was AJ? Like, because I feel like I just saw him. I was psyched to see him though. Glad he's here for Mania season. Yeah, he had a lot of time in the Rumble. I love AJ Styles. I truly think he's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And yeah, if this is his final year, like how last year was rumored to be his final year, I hope he goes out swinging, man. He will be missed. He should do a match with Cena, if it's both their kind of retirement years. Number 22 was one big SOB. Braun Strowman made his way down and would eventually eliminate Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu would freak out. They definitely want to continue that feud, and they should. That feud, in my opinion, is effing awesome. Number 23 was John Cena, the man of the hour. His final Royal Rumble, potentially. I don't. Do you really want to? I don't really want to say it's his final Royal Rumble. Literally, we have seen 70-year-olds enter the Royal Rumble, so. But his last full-time year as a professional wrestler, so John Cena was a big favorite to win. And another favorite to win, CM Punk was right after. And then another favorite to win was Seth Rollins. Cena, Punk, Rollins, and Roman Reigns all had a stare down. These are four guys that the kind of the Mania main event scene is floating around, and we really don't know what's going to happen with any of those four guys yet. I'm like The Rock. I got goosebumps thinking about it. I am so intrigued what happens with all of that. I was so invested. They knew what they were doing. They were really cooking at the final couple of entrants here, if you ask me. Number 26 was Dom Mysterio, though. I love it. After all the big names, you go to Dom Mysterio, you get that cheap heat. You gotta love it. Admire it. I think they see a future in Dom, just not right now. Aces reading comments. I'm gonna take questions once I go through the card here, and yeah, and if you think of questions while you're listening to me yap, and if you have any Shock Wrestling questions, I will vaguely answer them. If you have any questions about this new series as well. Yes, Dom was at 26. It was funny. Sami Zayn at number 27. If you asked me like 6 months ago, I would have said Sami Zayn was a potential person to win this year, but it seemed like the Sami Zayn hype has just gone boom, 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 boom. So I don't know. I don't think the hype's there. It seems like he's gonna be now with a Kevin Owens feud. Maybe Sammy's gonna challenge Cody for the belt in Toronto, Sammy's home country. Another, potential thing there. I don't know. That could happen. Number 28, my boy, Damian Priest, my favorite wrestler, made his way in. Was choke slamming the hell out of people. He eliminated Dom. My boy Damian's on SmackDown now. Oh, Damian's on my favorite show now. I'm happy. He eliminated Drew. That's probably going to start a rivalry between them. That rivalry's going to cook, if you ask me. That is a certified ace favorite rivalry of the year soon, if you ask me. Those guys are going to beat the hell out of each other, and I'm going to love every second of it. Next, we got L.A. Knight. Yeah. L.A. Knight deserves it, having a big, late number like this. He's a big-time star. Yeah. Well deserved. That's really all I have to say about LA Knight. And number 30, to suck the air out of the stadium, because I bet they forgot he was in it, Logan Paul comes in and gets that cheap heat, much like Dom earlier. He was number 30. Now, there was a part of me that thought Roman Reigns was going to, that The Rock was going to be number 31. I was waiting for that 31 counter to go down because of that leak, which, great leak, and I just kept thinking of that, and but Logan Paul at 30 was completely fine to me. What I didn't expect was this next sequence of events. Roman Reigns is trying to eliminate Seth Rollins. They had a back and forth, and then CM Punk eliminates both of them. Keep in mind, there are still like 6 guys left. And then CM Punk is eliminated by Logan Paul. And then Seth curb stomps Roman on the steel steps. Punk and Seth start fighting. This, to me, is the official Seth heel turn, and we're cooking now. Seth Rollins as a heel is going to be great. I could finally like Seth Rollins again, guys. I like Seth. Like, give me the Architect 2015 Rollins. Give me that effing Rollins again. I would love to see it. Yeah, Seth coming back, I thought was, or excuse me, Seth coming back as a heel, I think is best for business. And then, so when the whole that debacle happened, it came down to Logan Paul, Jey Uso, and John Cena. So at this point, I'm thinking, all right, it's probably going to be Cena, but there is an argument for Logan Paul. Because imagine the heel heat, brother. And then Jey Uso's just kind of a body. In my mind. Logan Paul gets eliminated. Down to Jey and John Cena. And I'm like, oh, this is fun for Jey Uso. Being the final 2. This is cute. I have no problem with this. And then it happened. They had a insane little sequence at the end where they're off and on, but we're all like, big match John. He's gonna attitude adjustment, Jey Uso out of there. Cena's your winner. He's going to WrestleMania. No. Jey Uso pushes Cena off when he's at the hardest part of the ring, at the end of the apron. Cena falls off. Jey Uso is your 2025 Men's Royal Rumble winner. The whole time I'm waiting for The Rock's music to hit. And then it fades to black, the post-show started, and then I could finally be like, man, Jey Uso is your winner. And I've now had, about a little over an hour to think about this. And hot take, and I'm going to explain it. To quote a bingo bird, I like this. Jey Uso is getting, single-handedly, the biggest reactions. He is connecting to the crowd. Is this not what we wanted in 2014 and 2015 and 2016? We had years and years of bad Royal Rumbles where the wrong guy won. And they finally chose somebody who is getting the reactions, who is connecting to the crowd, much like a certain Yes Movement, much like a certain, you could argue in 2016, Dean Ambrose probably should have won that Rumble. In 2017, you could probably argue, that's the Rumble Randy Orton won. You could argue probably Bray Wyatt could have won that. Somebody that has a connection to the audience. And they finally pulled the trigger with somebody. Jey Uso won. The guy who is getting the biggest reactions, who is having a connection with the audience. And we're all a bit older now. We all remember, though, how we felt about 08 Jeff Hardy. How insanely over he was. And that is very similar to Jey Uso. From a tag team, he's the more popular of the tag team. Works his way up, has so many world title matches and keep losing. The story is there. And the more I think about it, the less problems I have with it. And listen, we got 2 world titles. Cody, I don't know what's going to go on with him. Maybe he still faces Cena. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know what's going on there. I I don't even know if Jey Uso is going to face Gunter. Somehow, somehow, they have now made WrestleMania season, I would say, even more predictable than last year's WrestleMania. Because we knew last year it was Cody, Rock, Roman in some way, shape, or form. You know, one of those three or two of those three. But now with Jey Uso winning, I truly have no idea what the two world title matches are at WrestleMania. And that is intriguing to me. You could still possibly do Jey versus Cody. There is a story there, especially if they're pushing Cody being heel. You could do many sorts of things here. To me, this opens wide open for opportunities. Now, I understand the Cena story was right there as well. I understand the CM Punk story was right there. CM Punk was my pick to win. And I said in my predictions video, if you have an opportunity to put CM Punk in the main event, you should do it this year because you don't know how long you're going to have CM Punk. Father time, injuries, etc. catches up to everybody. But Jey Uso, man, he's got that connection with the audience. Like, I'm sure his merch is selling like crazy. Yeah, I completely understand the win now that I'm sitting on it more and more. And now we're here talking about it. It has raised discussion for us internet marks. And I'm sure, families, kids are loving it right now. Their favorite, it actually happened where, a kid's favorite wrestler actually won the Royal Rumble. That never happened for me growing up. I wasn't a Cena guy, so I never got like Jeff Hardy winning. I never got CM Punk winning. I never got that as a kid. So knowing that there's a bunch of 10-year-olds right now who are yeeting in their living room, who are like cheering and they got their merch on, who are going crazy, it does warm my heart a little. And that's what pro wrestling is all about, is you're making a connection to a character and you want to see that character succeed. At least when it comes to a WrestleMania story, that's what pro wrestling's all about. So the more I sit on it, the more I don't really have a problem with it, but I also understand if people disagree, because it did kind of come out of nowhere. But I think there's something cooking here. All right. Now that I said that, and now that I physically clapped so Perolski can make that a video later, excuse me, Johnny Von Hollywood, I'm going to throw it to you guys. Chat, I want to know your opinions. Let's, what are everyone's thoughts on the Rumble? Ask me anything. Devil Han! All right, let me read the Devil Han thing. I'm not going to read that first part, but Devil Han says he's a professional hater, and I hope Gunter absolutely... I'm just going to say, I hope Gunter destroys him at Mania. That's the word I'll use, Devil Han. I love you, Devil Han. Thank you for coming out tonight. What time is it for you, Devil Han? Isn't it like 4 a.m.? All right, let me scroll up here. Rollins is a great heel. I'm excited for this three-way feud. Yes, I'm excited for whatever they got cooking. Yeah, I thought Sammy would side with Kevin Owens more, but he really came off very sympathetic. We're feeling Usi. I am feeling Usi. Yeah, Jimmy did really well in the Rumble as well. Was it Jay who did a crazy Hurricane Rana to Jacob Fatu, I believe. Jay versus Cody would actually be awesome. Yeah, I think there is a story there if you want to do it. Cody Lander's about to happen. I'll believe it when I see it. I would like to see it happen. 5 a.m. for Devil Han. Can everybody say Devil Han is Usi in the chat, please? Raven's on his PlayStation. No surprise there. Don't question the man's sleep schedule. Jay hit the Poison Rana. That's what it was. And Jimmy hit a Whisper in the Wind. Jimmy hit a Whisper in the Wind. I don't remember that, actually. I'll have to find that. More Hardy's comparisons. Like I just compared Jey Uso to Jeff Hardy in 2008. There's a Q&A section I could look at. Where? Oh, I see it. I just see the question, though. I don't see any responses. Shut up, Rock Kip. You do your own math. Uh, now, all right, now that the chat is active, I don't know if you guys heard me. I will be doing this every Monday and Friday after Raw and SmackDown. So this is just kind of a test stream. I'm gonna be doing more stuff. I was thinking of having, of course, I'll have guests on. I'm sure Johnny Von Hollywood will join me eventually once I figure all this stuff out. I'll be setting up a lot of Streamlabs stuff so you guys could be more interactive. Because we got a couple months here with us. I'll be doing this until WrestleMania. If you want to see it beyond WrestleMania, join the stream, be active. If you guys like it. Maybe this sucks and you guys don't like it. It might be at the bottom is their questions. Yeah, when I just click on it, I just see any questions about Ace's thoughts on the Rumble or this new live show. Yeah, I'm down for live stuff too. This is a lot of fun. 10 people watching. Welcome in, welcome in. I hope somebody clipped my Jey Uso rant. I think I was cooking there. Finally, JVH doesn't have to edit something. Until I make shorts of it. Yes, I will be back here this Monday, so post Monday Night Raw. If you guys will have any shock wrestling questions, throw it my way, of course. We're on the road to Mayhem. Can I announce? I have to check. I have to check the card. Man, all my preferences in WWE are completely. I'm the biggest Damian. Yes, Devil Han. Damian Priest fans, rise the fuck up. I knew Devil Han would be a Damian Priest fan. That's why we have a connection, Devil Han. That's why you're my brother. Devil Han's takes are AI generated. Now that Devil Han's here, I guess I should say this. I also want to stream on Face the Ace. Speaking of gaming, I just don't know what to do first as my first video game. It'll probably be a Star Wars game. There was a new Star Wars game that actually was just remastered that I never played. I was thinking maybe that'd be a fun first one, but I probably will do Lego Star Wars because I just want to play a game that I know as the first stream, so everything goes smoothly. And I know I can actually run that on my computer. Damian Priest fans, stand up. Stand up, put your hand on your fucking heart, and say El Champion. Damian Priest is about to have a great 2025. He's about to feud with Drew. He should go over. Yeah, I don't think I see anything on the Q&A, unfortunately. We'll figure that out as we go, though. I'll stream Jedi Academy again soon. Trust me, bro. 7 years isn't too long of a break. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. But yeah, as for man, I'm trying to think of Mania card predictions now that we have this information of Jey Uso winning. I just can't see it being Jey Uso versus Gunther. I feel like there's a better match there. I wouldn't mind if the Royal Rumble winner did go after the World Heavyweight title. The World Heavyweight title has kind of been on a since SummerSlam. I feel like it needs more attention. Since Damian Priest lost it, hasn't been that good. Damian Priest fans, stand up. Devil Han's Academy streams were elite. He should bring it back. I feel like I should put music under this next time when we get to the Q&A part, because I feel like I'm just sitting in silence reading your comments. Remind me to do that. I'll add like I don't know, a song to put under this, because I feel like it's just too quiet. I hope you all liked my intro. Priest is the only guy I could think of besides Sammy to successfully swear up to Gunter on the mic. I love him. Exactly. Exactly. I'll say it. He's better than Gunter. No, I won't. Thoughts on Roxanne breaking the record for longest time in a Rumble? Makes sense. Giving it to a very young prospect makes a lot of sense. You know, in theory, if you have like a sports mind, it would make sense that the up and coming star would last the longest or would have the most stamina. So I think giving it to Roxanne Perez makes a lot of sense, and I think they see a lot in her. It's quite obvious we're not getting AJ Lee, so might as well push the second coming of AJ Lee pretty much. I've enjoyed Roxanne's work in the last like 9 months or so. She's warmed up to me, and I thought she was great in this Rumble. I think this was a star-making performance. I knew Johnny Von Hollywood would like my intro. I don't think she should have had one. You know, like I said about Jordan Grace, it's a brand new audience that you need to introduce Roxanne, and I think she's feuding with Bayley to, you know, get that more main roster fan attention. No, I think this was a good stepping stone for her. You don't want to do it too much. We talk about Cena putting over young talent. Jey Uso's 39 years old. Not I can't even say it's putting over young talent, but it's talent that's over. So what yeah, I don't think AJ Lee's in the books. I don't think it's happening, boys. She seems very happy in what she's doing now. I think she's an author and stuff. You know, good for her. She's made a good life past wrestling now. It doesn't seem like she'll need this. I was trying to check. I feel like I should give you guys some kind of Shock Wrestling exclusive. So Monday would be the 4th. February. Or excuse me, it'd be the 3rd. Can I leak anything? Yeah, I could give you guys the main event. Oh. The main event of Monday Night Card this Monday will be Robert versus Kong Kaiva in a heated rematch. So there's your leak for the night for you Shock Wrestling fans. It's weird, Raven. We've had that storyline backwards with Charlotte winning and then going back to NXT to beat Rhea for the title. That happened, folks. It was during the Thunderdome era. Rod Kip has been leaking stuff in JVH's office. But yeah, man. I feel like I covered anything. Is there anything else I should have covered? I feel like we did everything. I actually made notes while watching the show. I never do that. I wish the show started later. I guess that's my hot take, because I was, you know, we all got lives. I was doing stuff with my family and that, and it was already 6 o'clock. So I was kind of like watching the Rumble while doing family stuff. I kind of miss the days where it started at 8. That's just me, though, and that's just how I operate in life. 6 p.m. is just a little too early. As much as I am still seething about the winner of the Rumble, I think they did a great job building up to a non-title match with some mix of Drew, Punk, Seth, and Roman. Yeah, the booking in this Rumble towards the end I thought was spectacular. Um, I really enjoyed it. Rod Kip, you'll have to find out on Caw. But yeah, Devil Hunt, I agree. I care more about that beef than any title at this point. I am a drama monger. I agree. No, when all of those guys were standing in the ring, I got goosebumps. I'm so into what is happening because I have no idea what's gonna happen. Don't give him his remax clause. Yeah, KO sold the finish like a champ. An Alabama slam, like, excuse me, into the ladder was just insane. Oh my god, I never did it. I had a graphic ready too and everything. Jey Uso, you're winner of the Royal Rumble. Yeah. Even though I already did my whole monologue and everything, I wanted to show off my graphic because I did take time to make it. If you all had to describe the Rumble in one word, what would it be? I am very excited for Elimination Chamber. Um, I think it will be star-studded as well, especially with Cena not winning. I think this makes um, John Cena a big surprise or a big underdog moment now. This is the storyline I kind of pitched in my predictions video for Cena's last year. You want him to overcome, you know, love over hate, whatever the hell he used to say, all that, eat your vitamins, drink your milk type of stuff, all that. You want him to overcome the odds like he used to. That's what you like about Cena. That's his character. He doesn't win the easy way. If he eliminated Jey Uso tonight, that would kind of be out of character. Even though he used to bury the young talent a lot. Usi. Yeah, as far as Elimination Chamber, like I said before, I think Cody versus Sammy for the title is definitely a possibility. I wouldn't count on it too much. And then in the chamber, all right, let me try to guess the chamber. So in theory, the winner would be facing Cody, right? So Cena, Drew, Roman, Punk, Damian. I'll throw in a Jacob Fatu. I think that'd be my 6 for the chamber. I think that's solid. Well, Gunter's got a belt. I think Gunter, if he's going to lose the world title, will probably be at Elimination Chamber. Charlotte coming out with a whole new face was wild. Oh, Devil Juan. Oh, man. I thought Charlotte looked good. Um, I thought Charlotte looked like a star, no doubt. Most important is Logan not winning. Him getting booed so hard on Raw you couldn't hear him talk was so cathartic. Yeah, there was a part of me that's like, maybe Logan will win. Maybe they want the biggest booze of all time, and then Triple H could be like, we had the highest grossing booze ever recorded on the sound meter at Lucas Oil Stadium. Did Triple H have a press conference today? Did he say it's the highest grossing in Colts Stadium history or anything? I also really like they showed Pat McAfee's greatest plays as a American football fan. That was cute. I want a Punk versus Cody match, to be honest, not as like a pay-per-view main event, but just like a one-off somewhere. I think it's possible it could still happen at Mania. They might have had that promo as kind of like testing the waters, being like, could we do this match this year? Because, like I said, if you have an opportunity to put Punk in the main event, you better do it this year. Don't waste time. They were flipping him off. Logan is. I'm not saying Logan's a pop. I'm saying Logan is heat. A pop is not heat. Nikki Bella, the crowd going mild. Yeah, she had a big pop. Gonna use the pop word. She had a big pop when she first came out, but then I think people slowly realized, oh yeah, it's Nikki Bella. take that as you will. Actually, mad we didn't get Jade or Becky. Uh I was expecting Jade. We could hold off on Becky, to be honest. I'm still no. I mean, it's not even a problem with Becky herself. It's just I think that character has been so dragged out, and I think I need more of a break. Watched the wrestling with and had a bit where we make up stats like that. Some shit like this is the loudest arena gate at a Monday Night Raw show on Netflix in 2025 in Indiana. That's the stuff Triple H says in his press conference. It bad publicity is still publicity to a point. To a point. I think Logan Paul's is just pathetic. like his the reasons why people don't like him is he's just kind of a pathetic person and a bit of a baby. And he's never won a boxing match, and now he's gonna fight his brother, and his brother. It's pro wrestling, dude, and because now him and his brother are gonna have a fight, which is wild. Yeah. It's interesting. It's very interesting. Let's see. Hour 26. I think I'm going to close this at an hour and a half. So any last questions before we wrap things up, folks? I think this was a good first test stream. Let me know. Please tell me what you want more of this stream. So of course, this is the first one, and this was kind of just testing everything. Like I said, I'll probably learn how to do Streamlabs and stuff so you guys could, do stuff. We'll make it a little more interactive here. For now, it's kind of just the base setup. This is a very Star Wars wrestling setup for you people who remember that. Yeah, nobody hates him because he's a strong heel character like how New Day are hated now. They just hate him because he's one of the worst humans to ever live. Yeah. You're not wrong. New Day is actual kayfabe heat, while Logan Paul is X-Pac heat, but to another level. Ace, would you say the Jay versus Cena stare down would be like Raven versus Old Ben? Is Raven that over with the audience like Jay Uso is? That would be my rebuttal. But I think Old Ben's storyline right now is very similar to Cena's, with him holding on to that scary box as kind of his lottery ticket into potentially a world title match. I think all that is, especially now that we're running back Nova versus Old Ben at See No Evil. You don't want to miss it. February something. I didn't know Alexa Bliss was back, Rod Kip. Do you know who Alexa Bliss is, Rod Kip? I guess they made a Bowling for Soup song about her, so maybe you know that. I enjoyed Alexa Bliss's return, though. I thought it was a good mesh of kind of all her characters. Maybe they're kind of testing the waters to see where they want to go with that character. Decorated tag team wrestler can't win the big one versus the GOAT. That's fair. Can't say Animus is Jimmy Uso, though, because Animus has been pretty successful. Oh, man. This has been a really good first stream, though. I'm glad people showed up. I was a little nervous about that. I thought I'd be talking to myself, and I didn't know if a Q&A portion was going to actually happen tonight. I know it's January, but See No Evil's in February. Rod Kip, I'm gonna... He's still the Genetti. Hey, throwaway germ, welcome in, man. Who pissed off Drew this time? He apparently got eliminated early. I know Drew is in constant like he's gonna, you know, uh, just very depressed. He has the best like pissed off look. Like I just I don't know. I love it. That is Drew's whole swag. Is everybody just pisses him off? Yes. No anime until the month of February. That is right now a Shockwave Universe rule. Wow, we got 10 people watching. Welcome. Welcome in, everybody. I hope you all are excited for this new series though, Ace's Road to WrestleMania. It's a very kind of bold experiment. Now I am now streaming twice a week, which is insane. Kind of insane. But yeah. Oh, well, I guess I'll have two more streams before it, but my pick for the Super Bowl is the Kansas City Chiefs. Um, Shock Wrestling will be having another halftime Havoc, and that'll be heading your way very, very soon. Joe Hendry, yes, did come out. Why do I feel like I didn't talk about Joe Hendry? I feel like I skipped Joe Hendry. I feel like I did. Did I skip Joe Hendry? I'm not playing Road to WrestleMania. We'll be here all night. Um, yeah, Joe Hendry came out with the TNA World Title. I feel like I call me crazy. I feel like I didn't discuss that. I'm looking at my list now. The Miz also came out. I don't know if I discussed that. It was cool to see the Miz. Joe Hendry did come out with the TNA belt. Cool. Good for Joe Hendry. Got eliminated by Roman. That was pretty funny. Raven's more like the Joe Hendry kind of thing. But say his name one more time, it'll show up like Beetlejuice. Dude, I hope so. I want the views. Joe Hendry, join my stream. But I think that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. It truly does mean a lot. Let me know what you want to see on Ace's Road to WrestleMania, and yeah, we'll be doing some more experience. Watch out, we've got a lot of things cooking here on Shockwave Sports and in the Shock Wrestling universe, the lore and all that fun stuff. And yeah, shout out to all of you for joining me. Hope you enjoyed the Rumble. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and I will see you all in the next live stream.